Yesterday we finished reciting in Surah At-Tawbah. Allah said, indeed the charity is for the poor and needy, and those who work on it, and those who are soft in their heart, and the ones who are prisoners, and the ones who are traveling, and in the sake of Allah. And Allah is knowledgeable and wise. These are the 8 categories that you do the charity, the zakah. The first thing we need to understand, a lot of people mix the word sadaqah with whatever it is extra, and zakah only the obligatory, and this is not right, because this ayah, it is on the obligatory sadaqah, on the sadaqah that is obligatory. Allah said, let them know that Allah has ordered them a sadaqah that will be taken from their rich and given to their poor. So it is not true to say the word zakah only for the obligatory part, and the word sadaqah for the extra stuff beside those etiquette. Allah said, indeed the charity is for the poor and needy. These are the first 2 categories. This ayah has talked about 8 types, and this way of anima in Arabic, it just puts its control the category. So as if Allah saying, these are the only categories that you can have. Some of our brothers, they said, can we go out of these beyond those 8 and choose different types to pay our zakah in addition to whatever that was in there? Can we expand more in this ayah? Like we can say, it was only on the sake of Allah, it's for the fighters. Today it goes to the fight in the da'wah, and with the sword, the media, and all these other issues, all these tools. So let's talk about those 8 categories that came in the book of Allah Azza wa Jal. Indeed the charity for the poor and the needy. The combined between them that they don't have enough. Both categories don't have. One of them is more need to the other. But what's combined between that, you don't find enough for themselves. If the custom that the person is in need to $1,000 monthly to live a normal life with no poverty nor extravagance, so anybody who have less than 1,000, then he is among the needy. The poor and the needy both don't have enough to support themselves, but one of them is in more need than the other. This is the difference between the 2 categories, but there is nothing that is required between these 2, because the common part between them, they both don't have enough for themselves. But when they are mentioned together, you can understand to see the needs for it. You don't have to become to 0, so you could be someone who need. So he could have enough, like someone $900, but he needs 1,000, so he's still among the people who needs zakat, because he's within the need someone has 700, 500 for, I mean, there's a difference. Those needy and poor need are within their boundary. And those who work on the zakah is not an individual thing. It is in the Muslim. It is a foundation in the economy of Islam. There will be like a big institution that take care of this, or it could be part of the state itself. It is a management system that take care of this area where they collect and also to spend it. This these people that work into the zakah, the ayah has talked about that they can take from the zakah as employees, even if they are rich. He didn't look if they are poor or need. They look at the effort they did. If they volunteer to it, that is okay to pay them from the zakah money of people of their category, of the same work they're doing. And every person who took himself for the public interest, he can take from their money with goodness, with no poverty and no extravagance. Just like the woman who take care of herself for her husband, so he is required to pay her. He need to pay her expenses. That's her right. So that's the right of the people who isolate themselves only for the interest of the public. The people who make adhan, or the judges, the one who make fatwa, every public area in anything of the people's affair, he can take from the public money. Like if someone is gonna take, somebody is saying, this imam is taking money for because he's gonna pray anyway. Why should we pay him? That's if you thought the imam is only to lead the prayers, but he has a list of others. But even if you get only that part, you held him that he will be in that area. So you've stopped him from going to do his sustenance. Like if I'm free and I go, what the time of the prayers? I'm in Clear Lake, I'm okay. If I'm the Galera, it doesn't matter. But you want me to come to this place and be leading the prayers, then you have held me hostage, held me required for that place at that specific time. So if you take that freedom from me where I can pray anywhere, then you have to pay me for that right that you have taken away from me. And if obvious, if a person could establish the prayers in a place, they will be organization. Like you'll find someone who make adhan, and you have a leader. There won't be a chaos. So if there is an absence of this person who is in charge, then there will be a chaos, and then you'll find that no one will lead the prayers, or someone will go and he's not sufficient for that place. So this is a position that it is okay to pay and to give him enough for it to be enough money to make him sufficient. So indeed the prayers for the poor and needy and those who work on it. But here comes an issue. Now, for those who entice people to pay the zakah and to do good thing, can we give them a reward from what they have collect. Yes, of course, as long as it is without extravagance or too little. Like for those who collect the charity or the zakat and encourage people to do it to purify themselves, these within that category that Allah said, and those who work on it, and they are in every time at every place, as long as it is within the norm. And the mu'allaf qulubuhum are people who are soften their hearts. Either people either people who are non-Muslims, you give them to make them soften their heart in Islam, to have better position against Islam, with Islam, or to prevent them from harming Muslims or Islam, or they are new in Islam, and you want to support them in and support their faith in their heart. And this is one of the questions we always ask: when do we pay non-Muslims from the zakat? You don't take it from the rich Muslim to give it to the poor. That one exception is to non-Muslims, is to soften the heart of people. But the non-Muslims who lives within the Muslims, or there is of being neighbors or relatives, this is in the general charity. This is open, and it is one of the goodness and the that Allah has ordered us to do in our relationship with them. So it's not like we're prevented from spending on them. It's just to spend from that is that was obligatory. That's where it is from. But Allah Azza wa Jal encourages us to be just and to be kind and to be spending for in the sake of those who are neighbors, who are in need of the non-Muslims. In the riqab, now we don't have slaves nowadays. Meaning is to relieve the hostages. If the Muslims is taken as a hostage, then you can pay ransom or money to get him out of prison. Even if the whole ummah wealth is spent to release him if needed, because the Muslim is more valuable to Allah Azza wa Jal than everything else on earth, from beauty and luxury. And also the other category is the people who have debts, the one who have current not the ones that is delayed loan. And there are two types. The first one, he took loan for his benefit. The others, he took loans for the interest of people. Who did for himself, to his food, clothes, his medicine, his private things, and then he's overwhelmed with debt and became more than what his income is. Then you can spend money from the zakah to take care of that debt. And an issue, you cannot put your you cannot pay your own debt with the zakah. You have someone has $1,000. You cannot say, I have 1,000 zakah, I consider that one that I will. No, that debt is dead. So the majority of the Muslims that you cannot take off the debt in the zakah, so you don't mix the good with the bad. And those who take that to take care of two people, to make people have peace together. Two people have dispute over some money, and somebody take a loan to pay that money so he could soften the hearts to make these brothers come back to each other. These debts that these people took, that they have taken, they can be paid from the zakah money. So their effort will not be weakened to fix what is being corrupted, because the best charity is to fix the affairs of people. The process of you to think about what is more than Salah Al Sadaqah, which is to correct the relationship between others, and the worst thing is to corrupt between two people. And the other category is in the sake of Allah. The majority of scholars, they said this one only they dedicate it only for those who go in jihad. So they are required to take from the zakah to help them in jihad in the sake of Allah. In addition, the Hajj and Umrah is in the sake of Allah. Al Hajj is the obligation of Allah and the Muslims. No one can take from their charity so he can make Hajj. Allah required the Hajj for whomever has the ability. Those who don't, that traveling means the expenditure, this one is not capable, so he's not obligated right now to make that faridah. But a lot of people, scholars, they put the jihad in the word and da'wah, the people where they memorize the Quran, the universities, all educational and media outside the Muslim countries, you can spend, is considered part of Sabilullah. So you'll have an Islamic school, Islamic university. But this is extremely important that they have no other alternative. It's the safety factor. So a lot of people have made fatwa that it is allowed to spend money of zakah and the goodness and the call for Allah Azza wa Jal and whatever helps in it. And that was the decision of the Muslim Conference, and AMJA has accepted, American Muslim Jurists Association. And how about the person, the other category is someone who is stranger and who is traveling, and he left all his money. He don't have enough money to go to his other town or to go back to where he came from. Of course, he cannot go to gamble or to travel for luxury or for a sin, because all the exceptions that Allah gives is for you don't do it for this to sin against Allah. To stress on that meaning that in the sake of Allah takes all means of da'wah to Allah and everything that help into it, from instruments and tools. In summary, what the American Muslim Jews decided, because some of the Muslims, they said, and you could find it in the saying of Allah, those who spend their money in the sake of Allah. Here Allah did not mention the jihad. This did not follow what they're doing in with harm or showing off, and they have their words for Allah the Son to Allah, and they'll not be saddened. And to that jihad is to raise Allah's name. It's just like it's done with their fighting, also with their ways of also to prepare people in making da'wah to Allah Azza wa Jal. And Imam Ahmad and Nisa'i, they all narrated that Anas said, or the Prophet ﷺ, he said, fight them this way with your money, yourselves, and your tongues. And Islam is being fought from the ideology, and they have supporters who comes in village. So it requires on the Muslims to fight them with the same tool of media, with whatever you can. And in Islamic countries, they have their own ministries and money and their budget for the da'wah. So they don't need any help. So the Majlis made a majority and to seek the call to Allah Azza wa Jal and all the things that require. We'll continue inshallah because it's time for the Isha. Inshallah we'll continue tomorrow inshallah.